Hello, everyone. This is Len Holmquist with Jules Falcone, better known as Dr. Bowl. And this is the Star Challenge on the Bowlers Gazette. And in our opening match, to see who will go against our current Star Challenge champion, Jim Johnson Jr. of Wilmington, a pair of right-handers, Tom Smith and Paul Manuel. Tom is 26 years of age, 18 years of the bowling game, one of Delaware's top-ranked bowlers. And this is young Paul Manuel, just 21 years of age. He's been bowling for 13 years. Carries a top average right now in the range of 205.
Both of these fellows are a little bit unorthodox, Len. Paul seems to carry the ball the way, gets his shoulders wide open, but throws a bomb. Really throws a lot of ball. The open shoulders will have a tendency to pull that follow-through in, which will take a lot away from his accuracy, but he'll get a lot of shots back with that big ball he throws.
Paul needing to cover here and will be dead even after the first frame. The winner goes against the Star Challenge champion, Jim Johnson Jr. And he blocked our view, but believe me, the two pins did go down. And we are all even here at Price Lanes, where we are completing our Star Challenge title run. Relatively, well, actually, a very new feature here on the Bowlers Gazette. Jules, we've had one Star Challenge match, and it was a dandy. Yeah. Jim Johnson Jr. went in as the leading bowler, I guess you would say the star, because he's Delaware's top-scoring scratch bowler, and he went against Don Stewart, who is the top-scoring left-handed bowler currently in the state of Delaware, and they put on a whale of a show. If you missed it, Jim Johnson Jr. crushing him out with 3 strikes in the 10th, 11th, and 12th frames to win over Don Stewart, who was striking fast.
Had the last 6.
Yes, he did. He had an open frame that cost him the title and a chance to knock off the Star. But the winner here will go against Jim Johnson Jr. in our title match. Tommy Smith. Let's look at his game, Jules.
Okay, watch Tom Smith. Good game, good follow-through, good balance. He seems to fall right into the ball at the end with his shoulders. What that does, that takes a lot off the ball. Tom averages 220-something, and I know in a couple places. Could throw a lot more ball if he would keep those shoulders back and let the arms swing separate from his shoulders. But just as he follows through with the ball, his shoulders fall right into the ball, which takes the weight of the ball off of his hand. So he can't get good lift. See how his shoulder drops right into the shot? Don't need a lot of ball, I guess.
I was just going to say, I wonder what he would do if he was doing by the numbers.
Well, you really don't need. No, he wouldn't.
How can you average much more than 224, 225?
Well, you like to have that. You like to have a little more ball at times, and you like to have a little less ball at times. But it would be nice to be able to adjust it the way you want to adjust it. Like don't get a little deeper with the legs or something like that. But every once in a while, you don't have. You might say you hit a condition where you got a swing area to the right, so you can make a mistake to the right and the ball will hook back. Well, somebody that drops his shoulders into the ball won't be able to take advantage of that as much as somebody who did throw more ball. That's all. I don't think he's going to average more than that. He might average different in different places. It might make him more effective when he needs a strike, because if you have a tendency to drop your shoulders when you really need one, you might really drop into it and leave a lot of 10s or push the ball.
And here in our opening match, we are dead even. Both had started with spares, and both have struck.
Doubled. 2 doubles.
And we're close to being even.
Both players have doubles and no opens.
The runner-up in this match a better name that I like for a loser, because they're in this type of competition, you can throw a lot of pins and end up being on the short end. So let's call him a runner-up. $40, and the winner goes on for the Star Challenge, where the purse is sweetened considerably.
Yeah, that's right. There is no loser in this match.
Not at all.
Just the loser receives money. Watch Tom's strong point. Tom's strong point is the direction of his follow-through. It always stays in line with his swing. See that? Right in line with his swing. Never goes in front of him.
And he gets tapped. I want to thank one of the sponsors of our Bowlers Gazette Star Challenge, the Chestnut Crossing Apartments, located in Newark. If you are in the market for a change of location, a new home, so to speak, why not give the people at the Chestnut Crossing Apartments a call? And I'm sure you'll find them very accommodating. Tom Smith picking up the 10-pin.
Has about a 10-pin lead. Tom Smith has about a 10-pin lead.
That was a spare in the 5th frame. 99 the count for Tom through 4. Paul Manuel bowling in the 5th frame, trying to make it a turkey.
And which will even the match.
And he can't do it. He really has an unorthodox style.
Yeah, his body weight's way forward, and he carries the ball. He doesn't swing it, and them shoulders get wide open. When them shoulders get open like that, they're probably open 40 degrees. It's really difficult to get him back to square and make a good firm follow-through. So the follow-through has to be distorted, but them shoulders out of line like that really are a liability.
And he's got the spare. We'll be back and continue with this match on the Star Challenge here on the Bowlers Gazette in just a moment. Old Paul Manuel in our Star Challenge series here on the Bowlers Gazette. His opponent is Tom Smith, another young man from the Delaware area, top scoring scratch bowler. In this match, Paul Manuel with a spare working in the 5th frame, bowling on 1 in the 6th, looking for them all to go in the pit, and they do.
There's that big ball.
Hey, he liked that. He's really a one-arm bowler, though, isn't he?
Yeah. Can't deny them big balls, though.
Now, when I say one-arm bowler, he really carries the ball,
all
muscles the ball, does everything with the one hand.
Yes. Oh, geez.
Well, that is
Bad break there, huh?
bad break.
A little high. It was a little high, but
Tom looks up,
Still
shakes his head, and
should
says,
have been.
my goodness, somebody
Give me my
robbed me
hits.
on that one.
Give me mine. Keep the bad ones, though. Give me my good ones. Should be an easy spare for Tom. Swish. Boy, was that the kiss of death.
You've done it before, Jules.
Jeez, a 9-pin. I don't think I've ever seen him miss a 9-pin.
And now Tom, the key here for him is maintain composure.
Oh yeah. I put him. I made it even right to the pin. The match is even.
Okay, we'll start over here in the 7th frame.
That's right.
And let's see if Tom
What do
can
we
start
got?
big. He does.
All right.
He comes back like a top scoring bowler should, and he crushes them.
Okay, let's see what Paul can do. He's got to strike up. He can get the lead with this one. Last time he was wide on this alley. In the 1st frame he was wide. Let's see what he does. He has 1 strike on him. Wide 2 out of 3 balls.
He lists the favorite pro that I don't think a lot of people would list. Bob Handley. Bob Handley, solid professional.
Bob Hanley is one of them guys that throw that monster ball. Revs him up. Paul likes to rev him up. He probably wouldn't be happy bowling 220 average if he couldn't hook the ball 2 feet.
Well, how about the master rever of them all, Mark Roth?
Well, I think the master rever of them all is a left-hander named Steve Cook.
Steve Cook, yes,
He
absolutely.
revs him up.
Yeah.
That guy has
You know,
sparks
actually-
coming off the wood.
You know, actually, when he gets a strike, Steve Cook, when he gets a strike, they ought to give him 20.
I think
Instead of 10, they ought to give him 20 because, you know, he's not only blown the rack out in the front, he usually blows the rack that's sitting up above.
You know, I bowled in places with Steve Cook, and it's really unbelievable when you're bowling next to him or on the same pair, and you're getting about 10 to 12 revs, and his ball on the same lanes as you is just a blur. You know, it really gives you a great feeling. You figure you don't have to say, what am I doing here?
Brings you down to size.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. It looks unbelievable on television, but throw a ball in the same pair he's bowling on, you won't believe it.
Tom Smith bowling here in the 8th frame, and he's got to do some bowling now.
Right
Looks
there.
solid.
Oh, back to back, just a little high, and he leaves the 9-pin back to back.
And
Hard to
Tom
believe. And the match is
able
even.
to smile about it, though. I think he's doing that for the TV cameras. Tommy has a little bit of the Marshall Holman instinct in him.
I hope not. Marshall hasn't been able to win on television for 3 years. There he's got the. I just 9-pin up that time.
Last time got a little carried away. Not happy at all with 2 solid crushing pocket shots that left the 9-pin on lane 2. Maybe want to take that 9-pin home with him tonight.
Yeah. Game is even right to the pin, except Tom has working on a spare. Paul is working on a strike, which is the difference right now. He's sure hitting that alley. Hit it all but once.
We've got ourselves an interesting high-scoring match here. In the opening match, the winner goes against Jim Johnson Jr. in the Star Challenge finale.
This is a big ball here. This puts this could put Paul ahead.
And I think he knows it, and he's working a little bit longer on it.
I'm sure he knows it. Early timing. That early timing takes that ball high, and he's got a 9-pin.
Well, he smiles about it. Had a little comment for Tom Smith. I think Tom said, well, look, I got 2. You've only got 1.
Yeah. And the match is still even, right to the pin.
The only thing different is the fact that Tommy Smith has already put his foundation strike in there.
Yes, sir. That's difference. That's the difference is the ball. I would say if Paul plans to win this thing, he better throw a double now.
Paul shading his eyes from the strong glare of the television cameras. It's heating up out there.
And we're even right to the pin. See what he
Paul
does with this one.
Manuel needing a double to really put some pressure on Tom Smith.
That early timing is a killer. Got away with it.
Slides that 7
right.
down.
Big
Slides
ball.
the 7 down. Big ball. Now he needs another big ball.
This one will really switch the pressure over to Tom. They don't get any closer than this, Len.
No. Airtight. And it's this type of action here on the Bowlers Gazette with the new Star Challenge feature that I think the bowling public in the Delaware area is going to love.
Right down to the last frame.
Last frame.
Probably the
good
last ball.
scoring.
Look at this.
Oh.
Coming.
What's
Can't
the name of
deny
that?
them big balls.
What's the name
That's
of
a
that
wall
strike?
shot.
That's a wall shot. I'm learning that terminology. Bowling is just a game of cliches. Going to the wall, running out of paper, the wall shot,
Out to sea.
out to sea. I think you've made up 150 by yourself. You could put them in a book, probably be a bestseller. Here's Paul Manuel. Last shot for him.
Oh,
And this time,
big one. Okay, that's going to make Tom get 2 strikes. One is
So?
not enough.
the pressure is on Tom Smith. He must double, or Paul Manuel will go against Jim Johnson in the Star Challenge.
Well, if Tom gets 1 and 9 and a spare, it'll be a tie. So he needs 2 strikes to win. 1 is not enough. And this is the lane he came up high on, left to 2 9-pins. Now there's a 2-4-5. That is what happens when you steer the ball a little with the shoulders. You can't let your shoulders steer the ball. You must let the arm swing steer the ball, a la Jimmy Johnson.
Tommy talking to himself a little bit, however, but he really got wrapped. 2 9-pins that should have gone down.
Yeah, you're
absolutely should have gone down. Paul Manuel says, I had one too. Don't forget that. Tom will throw his fill ball. Our final count is going to be very respectable. Paul Manuel finishing out with a 216. Tom Smith is going to finish out with a 209. 7.
Didn't matter, either one.
Didn't matter. Back with the Star Challenge finale. It'll be Paul Manuel against Jim Johnson Jr. in a moment. Ready to go in our Star Challenge Championship match. It is our current Star Challenge champion, Jim Johnson Jr., going against Paul Manuel. Paul defeating Tom Smith 216 to 207 to reach the finals against JJ. And JJ starts
with a blowout.
Just exactly as maybe you'd expect, with a gigantic blowout. Paul, I'm sure, knows that he has got a stiff challenge facing him. Gary Meinhold in the background. Some of Delaware's better young scratch bowlers watching the competition. Gary Meinhold to the left of the screen. In the glasses is Joe Petrucci. That's Paul Manuel throwing the ball, and tough break 10.
Oh man, that was stoned. That was one
Paul
of his
is
better
rather convivial. I don't even know the word. He just bounces around up there when he bounces a lot more when he throws a great ball and doesn't get them all. He just
I think all of us
bounces.
do.
That's probably true. Len Holmquist and Dr. Bowl, Jules Falcone, bringing you this championship match. The winner, $200, runner-up, $100, but the winner has the advantage of coming back and making more money on the Star Challenge Series here on the Bowlers Gazette. I think Paul must have the cleanest bowling ball in town. I mean, that thing sparkles.
Yeah, that must be a yellow dot. The yellow dots tend to sparkle more than the urethane balls. Turn it over.
But that time the 10 goes down. But under the present urethane condition, you got to have one in your repertoire, don't you?
You better believe it. You better believe it.
Directly in back of the telescore is just to the right of JJ is John Kay, another up-and-coming tough scratch bowler. You're liable to see any one of those three. Gary Meinhold, Joe Petrucci, John Kay in the Star Challenge Series in coming weeks. On a double.
So Jimmy has a blowout and a wall shot in 2 shots. And then what happens, you know, he gets a couple like that, and then he throws about 4 flush ones. All of a sudden, he's gone. Another blowout that didn't hit the 7.
Jimmy says, I wanted that one, though.
Yeah, well, you got to throw a flush once in a while.
You can't throw a perfect game unless you get them all to get down every frame.
Yeah.
Jimmy, by the way, got a little careless. Careless. And if Jimmy has any bad tendency, that's it. You get a little careless once in a while, and he knows it.
Right.
Here's a guy with, well, when we taped this Star Challenge match, JJ had at least 14 perfect games in the bank.
This guy here throws enough ball. There's a lot of ball that he can really put the pressure on you.
Well,
you get a guy throwing a big ball, starting to hit the pocket a lot.
He's put a little heat on JJ now because he has a double, and JJ has gone flat.
That's right.
And has a 57-pin count total for JJ after 3.
It's only a mark, and it's still early. But if Paul can get going here,
we could have a new Star Challenge champion. Don't go away.
See, that big ball.
Well, we got
pins around.
We didn't get to see much of that ball until they kissed at the head pin, and they go down in a hurry when he throws.
Yeah, that thing is revving up. He throws a lot of ball.
He really swings the ball a lot behind his back, Jules, which
well, that's the open shoulder.
To me, that would be a real critical problem.
Oh, terrible, terrible. You see, when he opens his shoulder, that automatically puts the ball behind his back.
Right.
But he's open. He's open a lot. A lot of people open their shoulder, me included, but he opens it like 45 degrees. That's. But he does throw a ton of ball, which gives him, like that last hit he got, gives him them light hits back. He wasn't playing with that one. He threw that one.
Well, he knew he had to come back and keep even in the match.
He's not even yet.
JJ, out of the 5 frames, 4 strikes, had a single pin leave and missed it. Paul Manuel bowling here in the 5th frame. Spare. And then 1, 2, 3 strikes, looking for number 4. A markup.
Look at him.
And in trouble.
Okay, this is not an easiest spare. It's sort of a routine spare, but it's not the easiest spare in the world. There's too many ways to miss this thing.
I think JJ just played a little head game with Paul with that big double.
Nah. Uh-oh. That's going to cost him.
Through 5, Paul Manuel, his total count is 105. We'll be back to continue our Star Challenge Championship match in a moment. This is Paul Manuel, 21 years old, in the Star Challenge Championship match against the current Star Challenge champion, Jim Johnson, and Paul has his work cut out for him now. After going open in the 5th frame, needing to come back strong. JJ went open in the 3rd frame, but he has come back with a double. That put the pressure on Paul. Paul did not respond well to it, went open, and now has not got himself an easy spare.
Tough spare, and the match is almost even. He's got to make his spare because JJ's working on a strike.
Uh-oh.
2 opens like that is really going to put him in trouble.
And that bodes well for JJ and not very well, of course, for Paul Manuel. Paul won his first match against Tom Smith, 216 to 207, with some solid effort up and down in the match.
All right. I don't think this 2-alley is finishing quite as much as 1 because it's been giving most of the right-handers a little bit of trouble today, all day long. In fact, it was the one that Jimmy has trouble with. He was stoning 1 alley and not hitting 2.
And a little bit out of focus. Just a blur as he knocks down the 10-pin. Taking a look at the scorecard to see what he has to do.
He has a markup.
A markup.
13 pins.
One of Delaware's top competitors, top averaging bowler in the state, winner of the Budweiser Top 20 tournament last year. He'll be going to the American Bowling Congress Tournament Masters Championship as a result of that win in the Top 20 tournament last year.
Almost left an 8-10 that time, Len. Looked like a pretty decent shot, too.
He got careless in the third frame. Does not want to get careless again.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, it's up to Paul here. He's coming off of 2 holes, and he's a mark down. He's got to plug it in and put some strikes together.
It's amazing how suddenly your game can go south.
Yeah, that's right.
And I have my feeling has always been, Jules, for the most part, it's mental. Oh,
No doubt.
my.
Sure is mental.
Paul can't believe it. Kind of...
That's going to put him in trouble. Now he's 2 marks down. Unless he can figure out some way to make this impossible split.
Well, I've only seen it made once, and that was on television with Mark Roth. And he didn't say it, but I did. I'm sure many of bowling's viewers remember that.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I did.
I saw it on a replay, but I didn't see it when he did it. Okay, now he's really got his work cut out for him. He's got 3 frames to go. He's 20-some pins down.
He needs all strikes. He needs all strikes.
He needs this one if he's going to turn anything around.
He needs this one, or it's 100 hours.
Turn it over.
And he turned it all over the place. That ball rushed back for the pocket at the end. Really rushed back.
If he ever figures out where that thing's going, he's going to be murder.
Now, the response by JJ is...
Nothing.
Not a strike.
He's giving him a little air. That gives Paul a shot.
Cover. Go ahead, Jules.
Paul's 21 pins down, but JJ's not working, and he is. So the next time he comes up, he throws 2 strikes. It'll be a brand new game, no matter what JJ does here. That's what happens when the pins will be heavier. That head pin doesn't come out of the gutter. How about that?
Paul commenting back to us
About
nice 7-10.
Yeah.
But JJ...
Yeah, this is still a makeable spare. He's accurate enough to put it right between there.
Oh, what a great shot.
Good shot.
Just a super shot. He needed it, had to have it, and he got it. Go for it.
Okay, that's it. So, but Paul still has his own destiny in his hands. If he strikes out, he's going to make Jimmy strike out to beat him.
So we go down to the 9th and 10th frames. 9th frame for Paul, the foundation frame.
Turn it over.
Oh, lazy 6. Wouldn't fall. If it had fallen the other way, maybe. Fell back toward us and not toward the pit. But it's not over.
No, it's not over at all. He still has a chance to double on the other lane, which will force Jimmy to mark.
Well, in the previous Star Challenge series, when we saw Jimmy go against Don Stewart, Don put the heat on him late, and Jimmy really responded, crushed him.
But a triple in the end.
But a strike is needed here.
Yeah, he can't win without a double here.
He is 19 pins down, he being Paul Manuel.
Here it comes.
There's one.
He does rev it up. It'd be nice if he could have got a break on that 10 pin last frame, huh?
Mm-hmm. Would have made it very interesting.
Yeah, it would really change the complexion of the game.
Paul the first one. If he can get 2 more.
Better hurry.
Oh, solid
Real
stone
close.
10. Is that a fast 9?
Yeah, that was a good shot. It was a little bit behind the head pin, which probably accounts for the 10 pin. Wasn't that bad, though. You know, I've seen a lot worse hits than that carry.
I'm sure you've had a lot worse hits than
I've had a lot
carry.
worse than that carry, right.
Ball finishes out with 182. And JJ
2 alley wide.
gets 7, which gives him a total right now of enough to win it.
Yeah, 178 in the ninth.
He has 185 already
185
without
if
throwing
he
this
misses
ball,
this.
and Jim Johnson Jr. continues as the Bowlers Gazette Star Challenge champion, defeating Paul Manuel in a interesting battle here in our title game. Paul finishing out with a 182. Jimmy ready to throw his final ball, and his count will be in the 190s. Not spectacular, but good enough to win the $200 Star Challenge first prize. Jim Johnson Jr. of Wilmington has won it, and he goes out with a flourish, a strike, and that'll do it in our title match here on the Bowlers Gazette Star Challenge Series. Jim Johnson Jr. remains the star.